What's up guys, Big Fry here. Just a little message before this video starts. The first part of the video is going to be my review of H-Hour Early Access. So the people who are clicking on this video strictly for the review, I'm going to put that first. After that, we're going to get into a little rant. I got some things I got to get off my chest surrounding this game. If you were a new player coming in and you want to know a little bit of backstory, stick around after the review because I'm going in. And if you're someone who just doesn't care about that at all, I'll leave the annotations down in the description so you know when the rant starts. You can just watch the review and just jump out of here. But here we go. Let's do this. Okay, first off, if you guys haven't seen my beta impressions video, I'm going to put a link in the description. You guys can go watch that. Essentially, a lot of points I made in that video apply here as well. So let's start with graphics. Since the beginning of the beta, every patch has brought in a little bit of texture polishing, and the game is starting to look better and better. In terms of review breakdown, it's my #1 positive for this title. It's looking better every time I play it. But if you're a SOCOM fan, you know it was never about the graphics. It was all about gameplay. So this game is not doing that very well at all. Gun mechanics have been tweaked, so they aren't just spraying everywhere. There is recoil. Only problem is every gun shoots exactly the same. There's no distinguishing M4 from P90 from AK-47. All the spray patterns are the same. It definitely has a long way to go before we can see some definite improvement in this front. I think that is simply a basic when it comes to a shooter, and I can't believe that they decided to go to Steam and not have it implemented correctly. I get subtle tweaks. This needs to be totally worked on. Like, it's not about tweaking gun patterns, it's about making the patterns. They essentially took random spray and they just defaulted every gun, and now they have to build from that. And they decided to launch like that, which blows my mind. Anyway, the character models are looking nice, but they move like plastic army men, just stiff as all hell. The aim offsets are good when you look up and down, but it's almost as if left and right are non-existent because your character model is actually tied to the mouse rotation, which it just makes him turn like a fucking army man. This needs to be fixed because it just looks bad. The map layout on Wolf Run has changed, and I'm starting to get the feeling that they just don't care about map flow and design. Wolf Run used to just be an open field, which sucked. So to fix that, they just move the terrorist spawn to the right and throw a building in the center for the bomb plant. Overall, I think Sismus is a better SOCOM style map, but Wolf Run just needs to be completely redone. It doesn't give me that SOCOM-esque feel, which is what we were sold on during the Kickstarter days, and it just looks like they threw it together. I'm not knocking Russ. Russ brought us classics like Desert Glory, Frostfire, all that good stuff. He just needs to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to create a SOCOM map in new technology. Speaking of bomb plants though, this is the biggest change they've made in terms of features. Demolition is now in the game. Thank God we have something else to play besides a bullshit team deathmatch. But I do have some critiques. Of course I have critiques, right? When the bomb gets picked up, it states at the top which character picked up the bomb. So if I pick up the bomb, it'll say, Big Fry has picked up the bomb. This doesn't help you if you don't know who's on your team. You need to make that title say SOF has picked up the bomb, so we don't have to constantly be checking the scoreboard. So if I'm away from the bomb and it says, Suicidal Chair has picked up the bomb, well, I don't know if he's on my team or not because I can't look around because the name tags disappear above the characters' heads from like 15 feet or more away. So I have to constantly go to the scoreboard, just search, okay, yeah, he's on my team. Done. Good to go. It's just simple design shit like that. I had a really tough time going into the bomb plant area and actually hitting my button and picking up the bomb. It's like it's just really glitchy. So that just needs to be tweaked. I know it's early access, stuff like that can be ironed out. I'm just saying it because I know that SOF is watching these videos. Other than that though, most issues from my beta impressions are still here. No jump animations, no dive to prone, there's just nothing. This game is as bare bones as they come, and with a price tag of $25, it's extremely hard to justify picking this up when for $10 less, you can pick up CSGO or Insurgency, which offers 1,000 times the content. I can't justify telling people to spend that kind of money to play a shell of what we should have had, and I won't. So guys, if you're looking to pick this up and, you know, take this review with a grain of salt, I want you guys to look at what you see in terms of features, in terms of maps, in terms of game modes, in terms of gameplay, and make the decision for yourself. This is just my opinion on what I see, the progress that I've seen thus far, which hasn't been enough to warrant launching right now. But inevitably, it is their decision. I think they just jumped the gun a little bit. But yeah, guys, go to the Steam page, check it out for yourselves, take a look, and let me know in the comments below if you picked up the title, what you're thinking. Use the keyword H-hour so I know you made it at least this far in the video. And this is it for my review, guys. Thank you guys for watching if you made it this far. Let's start this rant. So a couple days ago, a fellow YouTuber named EQOA Nostalgia created a video talking about censorship with the mod staff at SOF. They deleted and locked and moved a bunch of threads simply for stating opinions. One member actually went in and he made a post and he was attacking a lot of people. He verbally attacked a lot of people, and that post was rightfully moderated. I totally, wholeheartedly agree with doing that. He then went and made another post kind of just detailing the development roadmap, essentially what happened between the Kickstarter campaign and where we are now. And he was banned for it. Now, he wasn't banned for verbally abusing people. No, he was banned for stating his honest opinion of the game. Moving on, I make a post about locking threads, and that thread actually gets locked and moved itself, along with a couple other people as well. Now, if anyone is a follower of my Twitch channel, you know that I speak very critical of the game in order to stress to the devs that things need to change. We're on a time crunch, and you guys cannot launch with features missing, features not tweaked correctly. You need the basics down. And I speak very critically, and it's all out of passion. Every time I speak critically and I have a few people in the chat, I get totally shut down by SOF White Knights, or at least they try to. Like, they come in, they try to tell me to stop being negative, and they, you know, you're just hurting the game, blah, 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 blah. They just keep going on and on about it. All I'm doing is trying to stress in my own way to the devs things they need to fix. Because when I do it on the forums, it just gets bombarded by mods and members essentially attacking you for speaking critically. They always use the crutch, it's in early access, it's in alpha, it's in beta, but nobody really knows what phase of development we're actually in. Now we know, we're in early access. Now, I predicted that on day one, the game is going to launch to a very positive review on Steam, because all of these people who are holding on to nostalgia are going to go in, flood that shit to make it look good. And then when the general public buys it because they see it's very positive and realize that they just got took, they're going to riot. Simple as that. Day one, it's already started, but let's take a closer look at what these fucking people are doing. If you look at the negative reviews in this picture, these guys are trying to downvote them to oblivion. So if you filter by most helpful, which by the way, Steam, when you go to reviews, it defaults on most helpful. All you see is positive reviews. So they try to come into my streams, discredit me, or anyone else that speaks critically, and can actually critique a product. They downvote opinions that disagree to make it look like a better product, because they all know that if this game fails on PC, it's not going to make it to PS4. How fucking ridiculous is that? That you're willing to mislead people, fucking downvote honest, real critiques from people. It's not like these guys came in and just shit on the studio. There were reviews there that were literally pros and cons and how they didn't recommend it. Downvoted to oblivion. Get the fuck out of here with that. This review literally says, I'm going to shoot it straight. The vision is there, but the game is not. The price tag is too high right now for the state of the game. I still am rating it as a thumbs up because I believe in this project. What? If the game isn't there, how can you recommend it to somebody? The fact is, though, is it's 63% upvoted. Really? On top of all of that, we have mods on the Steam page and their official forums who censor you for saying anything negative. Now, if you don't have faith in the studio and voice your opinion based on things that you see, you are met with hostility from mods, suspended or banned. I had a run-in with a mod. His name is Paul D. Pearl, and I wasn't going to call him out, but after he did what he did to me, I am calling you out, because right now I don't give a fuck. I had a run-in with you last week when you were trying to discredit me by making a joke about being a conspiracy theorist and wearing tinfoil hats. I have thick skin. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that you are in a professional position at this studio. It doesn't matter if you're a volunteer or not. You have the moderator tag and you need to act with some tact. It doesn't matter if you disagree with people's opinions, you have to act in a manner that represents the company correctly. And to be honest, you are the worst fucking mod I have ever seen in my life. You are the absolute worst. And you do not deserve that moderator tag. You do not act professional in that position. So, you know what? I bit back. He said something to me, I bit back. And guess what? My post got hidden by another mod. Now, I don't have any issues with this other mod. He hid it because that's his job. I get that. He told me I can't be calling out moderators, blah, blah, blah. And I said, why is it that this fucking guy can go in and derail any opinion that I have by making jokes and essentially discrediting me? Why is that okay? But when I bite back, my post gets hidden and nobody can see the other side of the argument. And he told me to contact the head mod. His name is Wit is Wisdom. And I'm calling you out too, buddy. So, here's a screenshot of what I did. I sent him a rather angry message saying I'm done dealing with this fucking moderator. He is horrible. And if nothing gets done, because this is the second time I've talked to him about this moderator, and nothing got done both times. You know why nothing got done both times? Because they're both in the same clan together. And they both have each other's backs. That's how it works here. So I sent him a rather angry message, and I said, if nothing gets done, every time this happens from now on, I'm going to bite back, and I'm going to get banned, and I'm going to raise a big stink about it, because you, as the head moderator, aren't doing anything. You are sitting back, watching it all happen. So I sent him a message. He sends me one back with a fucking meltdown, and him saying essentially that it was my fault. He thinks like I broke rules before, so that's probably what happened. Okay. Whatever. Obviously nothing's going to come of it because you two are both biased against my opinion. You are biased against me. So when the latest quick look came out, and everyone in the comments that I saw up until that point, they were talking about, delay the game. It can't come out yet. It's still so early. And I made a joke. I said, my, how the feelings have changed around here. And I put a little gif of Jim Carrey laughing. And it was deleted. But the thing is it happened so fast. I refreshed the page to see if anybody else was commenting, and my post was already gone. Like, I posted it, refreshed, and it was gone. So I thought that I didn't post it. That's what happened. I was like, well, okay, fuck, I'll just post it again. Fucking gone. Gone again. Instantly. And then I realized that there's a moderator. Paul D. Pearl happens to be watching the thread. He deleted it. Oh, okay. I see. So I can't crack jokes, but he can as a moderator. So I posted it again, and I got banned. I got suspended. I got suspended from the site for 5 days. I can't post on the site for 15 days, and everything that I do has to go through a moderator, I believe, for the next 30 days. He dropped the hammer, which I don't even care. Like, your site is fucking full of white knights. I don't care. You guys can sit there and circle jerk each other about how great this fucking game is for the rest of eternity. But it's just funny how much of a double standard it is for that fuck to do that and abuse his power like that. And he's been called out by multiple people. So it's not just me bitching to Wit. I know Wit has heard multiple things about Paul over the last 7, 8, 9 year, however long. Now, I made a post on the Steam page about how the mods are locking and deleting threads, and that thread gets locked by a mod named SALBro. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. To be honest, I don't give a fuck. But before he locked it, he left a comment saying, same old stuff, same old people, proven wrong daily. Now, this was someone that I met in the alpha. I had heard, I've seen him post before, but I met him, on Skype during the alpha. We were in a Skype group of like 11 or 12 guys, and essentially all we did was spend every waking moment critiquing the game, figuring out what they need to do, and it was a really good group of guys. There were a lot of critiques, and then eventually, when things got heated in the alpha with me and a couple other guys, it was all about the community. And that alpha was a fucking joke, and every single person in that Skype group knew it. There were guys that I talked to They had spent $750 during the Kickstarter, and that alpha was handled so poorly, and they were so disheartened. I spoke to someone who spent $3 grand on the Kickstarter. He was fucking livid. I spoke to SL Bro. Everybody in that alpha group was on the same page. Some were a little bit more pissed than others, myself included. But, you know, it is what it is. After the alpha goes into beta, he gets offered a mod position, and he never looked back. In fact, back then, when we were in alpha, he got into an argument in the forums with Wit is Wisdom in the private forums. Now, by that time, I was already removed from the forums because they hated my opinions, blah, blah, blah. They removed me. So I actually couldn't see it, but he posted the whole thing in Skype. And he sends me a message on the site, you should read up on Skype my little war with Wit. So he wanted me to read it, because back then he was for the community. And now, you can see that that thread, or that private message that he sent me has been deleted. Why? Because he's a fucking moderator, and now he's on the other side of the fence making snarky comments on people's threads? Who the fuck do you think you are? You're a nobody. You're a fucking nobody. And I find it funny that moderators like Dirty try to discredit EQOA Nostalgia's opinion because he doesn't own the game yet. It's hilarious. They're like, you don't own the game. Everybody should take your comments lightly. They should take it with a grain of salt because you've never played it. And then in another thread, there are people asking where to see gameplay, and these guys are feeding them, here, go check out Domtron's stream, go check out Mojo's stream, go check out all this, go check it out. And that guy actually goes and checks it out and comes back and says he's not going to buy it. So how come somebody new who is a little Bambi, doesn't know any better, can just watch streams and form an opinion that way? But when EQOA does it and has a negative opinion, well, he's a fucking idiot. Like, who are you guys trying to fool here? You guys are the worst moderator team I've ever seen. The only one I have respect for is Spaz, because Spaz actually, he's there for the community. I know, because I met him during the alpha as well. He's honest. In everything he speaks about, he is honest. He talks about the features honestly, and he doesn't try to discredit people's opinion when he disagrees. And this rant went way too fucking long. It started with the fact that I saw people were downvoting negative reviews so that, they don't show up at the top when you filter by helpful. That pissed me off. Because this community used to be the SOCOM community, and I'm fucking embarrassed for the people who conduct themselves in that way to hide reviews and essentially add on top of the moderator censorship their own form of trying to hide people's negative views. Fuck that. This isn't the SOCOM community anymore. This is the H-Hour community. You guys have created a distinct difference now. Because I, as a SOCOM community person, would never, ever try to censor somebody's opinion that I disagreed with. The SOCOM community has standards that we fucking hold. We hold developers to those standards. If the game isn't good, we make sure they know about it. Zipper, out of business. Slant 6, out of business. But now because somebody's trying to feed us something that we haven't had for so long, you guys are willing to bend over, take it, and fuck anybody who doesn't agree with your opinion. That's not the SOCOM community anymore. You guys are the ones that are splitting this community just as much as the people who want to see SOF fail. You guys are hurting it just as much. You guys just don't realize it yet. And you will one day. You will. That's my rant. I'm done. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's @BigFryTV. You realize watching this video, if you guys made it this far, I want you to use a different keyword. I want you to use a keyword SOCOM. And there's a reason that there are 2 different keywords in this video. Let me know that you guys watched this video. Let me know what you think below. Guys, follow me on Twitter. It's @BigFryTV. I have a Twitch. You can go follow me there. All the links are above on my banner. I am fucking irate, so I just gotta chill out a bit. I hope you guys enjoy your day. And I hope to see you guys on something other than H-Hour, because right now, that game is fucked. So, enjoy.